First thing you'll discover out of these two verses, you'll discover that Jesus had the ability to captivate them by a compelling conversation to do. Jesus's messages had a way of not just challenging the status quo and exposing the systems and powers of the day, they also were compelling and transformative. The conversations people either stumbled upon or were invited to share in on had a lasting impact on those who heard them. The text says in verse 1, now the tax collectors and sinners were all gathered around to hear Jesus. But y'all know I got to ask a question. Minister Katrina, how did he do it? How was Jesus so powerful at getting the attention of people? Now, we're not sure as to what Jesus was sharing with them in this particular text. But what we can see is that whenever Jesus spoke, even at this moment in the text, he mastered the art of targeting emotions. All right. Here's something that we need to remember when we're trying to evangelize and reach people. You ready? People listen when you evoke their emotions. When your message grips their heart, they sit forward eagerly because they treasure your words. They may not remember what you said, but Maya Angelou said they remember how you made them feel. Come on, talk to me here. And this is what Jesus did. Jesus knew how to target emotions. For instance, when Jesus taught on what the kingdom of heaven was like, he didn't give a lecture and a litany of facts. No, he told a story whose entire point was to help you feel and visualize what heaven was like. When they wrote it in Matthew chapter 13 and 44, look at what Jesus said. The kingdom of heaven is like treasure hidden in a field, which a man found and covered up. Then in his joy, he sells all that he has and buys that field. What is heaven like? It's like finding a treasure more valuable than you ever thought possible. It feels like an amazing treasure that you would eagerly sell everything you ever owned just to have it. What is heaven like? Heaven is so delightful, glorious, beautiful, and enjoyable that everything else you work for pales in comparison. Jesus knew how to target emotions. But not only did he know how to target emotions, Dick Henry, Jesus had the ability to speak visually. All right. I like this when y'all get quiet. I said it just like that, quiet. I'm sorry, quiet, silent. Jesus had the ability to speak, watch this, visually. Whenever Jesus spoke, you could see what it was he was talking about. If he was talking about the kingdom of heaven, then you could see the field, the buried treasure, the excitement of one who finds it. You could just about hear the shout of joy as he sells off his possessions just to buy the field. Here's where I'm trying to go. Evangelism requires you and I to tell folks sometimes old information in a new way. And we can't expect to attract people with a message that's not appealing or attractive. Can I tell you that some of y'all, if I had the opportunity to go and not be saved, if I was not saved, some of y'all are too boring. That's just the truth. You don't live like you're excited about being connected to Christ. You just as dry, stale, stagnant as you want to be. But if you're going to win somebody to Christ, you got to share with them a message that not not only they can feel, but they ought to be able to see it. When I'm up here preaching, I don't just talk out of the side of my mouth, but whenever I stand, I ask God, God, let them see it and let them feel it. But here's the thing, I got to see it and feel it for myself. Because if you ain't going to see it and if you ain't going to feel it, you can't expect nobody else to do the same. Jesus targeted emotions. And he made whatever he spoke about visually. You could see it. You could feel it. Beyond the fact that this man was out here claiming to be that he was Son of God, performing miracles and upsetting people in powerful and prominent positions, he attracted them by what he was saying. Can I ask you a question? What are you saying when people come in contact with you? What are you talking about? Better yet, how are you saying it? What you saying to people when they ask you about what church you go to? Are you telling people about something good that's happening at your church? Or are you always finding the things wrong? When in fact, sometimes it ain't things wrong, you wrong. What are you saying about your faith? How are you witnessing to people about God? Matter of fact, is your conversation about God? You talk about everything else. Why can't you share with somebody? Because you don't realize folk may not ever pick up this book, but you, in the words of Paul, should be a living epistle, and you might be the only Jesus somebody ever gets a chance to see.